This is Sandy Newell, Tech Service Rep for BASF in the Southeast. I have Dr. Bob Kemerait, Extension Plant Pathologist with the University of Georgia, on the phone with me this afternoon. Dr. Kemerait, the last time we chatted, we talked pretty extensively about cotton diseases. This afternoon, I'd like to talk about peanut diseases, but before we do, is there any additional information we need to know about diseases in cotton?
I think that right now that we continue to have the weather even though it's drying out a little bit these few days, we've had enough wet weather and enough dew that it continues to be a very favorable environment for target spot to progress. So in our trials and looking at it, target spot is certainly something we commonly see. Conditions are favorable for it.
Well, thank you. Now let's move to peanut diseases. I know the same weather that drives target spot in cotton drives both soil-borne and foliar diseases in peanuts. Can you give an update on the disease situation in peanuts?
Sure, I'd be happy to, and I appreciate this opportunity as well. You know, like I was telling you earlier, Sandy, I went to sleep Saturday night, and it was July, and I woke up this morning, and it feels like October. And so really, right now, with these cooler temperatures, I think that it's an opportunity for growers to get ahead of disease, or at least to take a big attack on disease, especially disease like white mold. White mold disease is fueled by short rotations and good cover, but also by warmer temperatures. And so the way I look at it right now, these cooler temperatures, the white mold is probably going to slow down a little bit. If it was me, I would use this opportunity to try and get in there and get a handle on white mold diseases. Leaf spot's not affected quite in the same way. We still have plenty of moisture, even though conditions have dried out a little bit. Still got plenty of moisture in the canopy late into the day and certainly into the morning, favorable for disease. But what we now have is some drying conditions that allow growers to get in the field and not be delayed. So I think now is a good time, both in terms of what's happening with white mold, maybe slowing down while it's a little bit cooler, but ready to pick up as soon as it gets warm, and also the opportunity to get into the field with some drying weather to really be aggressive and get a 1-2 punch in there on our two most important diseases, the white mold and leaf spot diseases.
Well, are there any other diseases that growers should be aware of this time of year?
Well, certainly we're looking for Rhizoctonia limb rot. That's a disease that if you have wet conditions, if you have heavy vines, this weather, Sandy, is very favorable for the growth of peanuts. We expect more luxurious growth. And with those vines being on the wet ground, especially on shorter rotations, Rhizoctonia can be certainly an issue that we're not used to dealing with. So that's another one to be aggressive for, to have aggressive fungicide program out there.
Is there anything else peanut growers should be aware of?
I think right now what they most need to be aware of is we're in the most important, most critical time of the season to make sure we stay ahead of diseases. I think the weather we have right now over a considerable part of the southeast where it is cooler and also a little bit drier gives us the opportunity to aggressively try to get ahead or stay ahead of diseases. So I think the conditions right now allow the growers to do that. I think the environment is favorable for disease, but also favorable for use of a strong fungicide program. And also we're in that critical part of the season that if we don't stay ahead of diseases, it can become very, very difficult to catch up. So we're in the heat of battle right now, if you will.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kemerait, and hopefully we'll have a chance to chat in another week or so.
Well, I thank you, and thanks to BASF for giving us the opportunity to talk about the disease front on both cotton and peanut today.